gentlemen, boys and girls, and Pokemon fans of the world, it's your boy MegaCrasher, coming at you pumped up, coming at you hardcore, and coming at you guys back again once again with another epic and hyped as hell Pokemon Sun and Moon competitive guide, man. And this right here is going to be no ordinary Pokemon Sun and Moon competitive guide. Oh, hell to the no. It ain't going to be done by no ordinary individual. Hell to the no, man. This right here features your boy, the Shirtless Maniac MegaCrasher, man. And I just gotta say, man, that I am particularly excited for this Pokemon Sun and Moon competitive guide because it features Necrozma. And I just gotta say that with so much mystery surrounding Necrozma, like, it still boggles my mind the possibilities that Necrozma can have, not just from a mysterious standpoint, but from a competitive standpoint too. Man, oh man, this thing is so versatile. Like, holy shit, man. This Pokemon is certainly no joke, okay? Yes, it is in the NU tier, but the thing of it is, it gets kind of like one of those Pokemon where it can actually fill a role, fill a niche in just about every single tier you can think of. I mean, the only difference is you gotta taper up the EV spreads, you gotta taper up your movesets, all that stuff, to be able to deal with certain threats in those certain tiers. But the thing of it is, though, man, is just holy fuck. Like, this Pokemon is so good, so efficient. This Pokemon is essentially flawless. Well, I can't exactly say that because there are some things about it that are to be desired. But more often than not, this Pokemon will not let you down. So, with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's save for 25 likes and let's get this started, shall we? Woo! Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so first things first, we take a look at Necrozma and its typing, being that a pure Psychic. Now, of course, Psychic isn't exactly the best defensive typing, man. I mean, the thing of it is that while you do have two really solid resistances to being Fighting and Psychic, you have three very unfortunate weaknesses to Bug, Ghost, and Dark, all of which are very, very common offensive types. So, this Pokemon right here already is hindered by its pure Psychic typing, but there is that saying, though, that with every dark cloud there is the silver lining, man. We take a look at the silver lining coming in the form of its ability, Prism Armor. Now, this ability has the exact same effect as Solid Rock and Filter, meaning that whenever you take super effective damage, it gets reduced by 25%. And this right here, it helps the fact, okay? It helps the fact that it doesn't exactly have the best defensive typing, but the thing of it is that with Prism Armor, allows for it to deal with its weaknesses even better. And it doesn't even end there, okay, ladies and gentlemen? We now get to the stats, and these stats are so damn unusual. Like, you take a look at these stats, like, holy shit, where do I even begin with this? Okay. First off, ladies and gentlemen, we take a look at it from the defensive side. It's got 97 on the HP, 101 on the defense, and 89 on the special defense, meaning that this Pokemon can take hits from both sides of the spectrum, being physically and specially. And that right there just further adds on to its really solid bulk and versatility and whatnot. Like, we haven't even begun to scratch the Prism, okay? This is crazy. But now we get to the offensive portion of this Pokemon. It's got 107 on the attack, 127 on the special attack, and 79 on the speed. Now, of course, the lowest stat is, in fact, going to be the speed. And you might think that base 79 speed is quite middling. It is quite, well, kind of a letdown. You know what I'm saying? But, ladies and gentlemen, it can easily mitigate that in one single turn with two speed boosting moves coming in the form of Rock Slide and Autotomize. Did I say Rock Slide? I mean Rock Polish. It does get Rock Slide, though, for a physical move. And the thing of it is that this Pokemon's move pool is so versatile, it is so efficient that, quite frankly, you never know which Necrozma to expect in battle, okay? So, with the preliminaries out of the way, man, let's get to Pokemon Showdown, and let me show you guys some movesets for Necrozma. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so this first set that we got going on is literally no nonsense, beat the hell out of whatever is in front of you, okay? This right here is going to be an all-out special attacking Choice Specs Necrozma set, okay? So, Choice Specs is an item. Let's just go and highlight that shit real quick. It is an item that does lock you into that one move after you use it, but it does increase your special attack by 50%, man, giving you that extra bit of juice that can turn the tide in battle from a 3-hit KO to a 2-hit KO, and from a 2-hit KO to a 1-hit KO. This is lit, okay? And obviously the ability is going to be Prism Armor. That's the only ability it has, okay, man? So then we get to the moveset, okay? Psychic should kind of go without saying, man. Psychic is going to be your strongest hitting stab move. It is a base 90 special attack move with a 10% chance to lower the target's special defense by 1 stage, okay? Now, Psychic should kind of go without saying, okay? And then the next move should also kind of go without saying. You got Dark Pulse, man. This right here is a great way to smack down a Ghost-type Pokemon, okay? Now, this also has a 20% chance to flinch, on top of having a very respectable base 80 in the base power. Like, this is just absolutely crazy, okay? So then we get to the next move, and this right here is my preference, okay? I prefer that hidden power fire, man. Gotta have a bit of that spice to make things right, okay? This right here is specifically targeted towards Pokemon like Mega Scizor, Ferrothorn, Fortress, Ferroseed, whatever tier you are in that has Pokemon that are weak to fire-type moves. Hidden Power Fire is definitely a must-have on the situation. And then we get to the last move, being Power Gem. Now, while it doesn't have any additional effects, it does have a base 80 power. And the thing of it is, ladies and gentlemen, is that is not all of the special attacks you can use. Like, take a look at this. You can even slap on something like Flash Cannon, so that way you can take on Steel, Fairy-type Pokemon, as well as Ice-type Pokemon as well. Like, this is just absolutely crazy, okay? Like, did I say Steel? Okay, it's a Steel-type move that smashes through rocks, that punishes fairies, that completely crushes ice, okay? So then, okay, then we get to the stats. It is going to be a Timid Nature. That's my preference. You want to have as much speed as possible because you have no way of boosting your speed here in this situation. So we can afford to go with a Timid Nature. So that way, ladies and gentlemen, we take a look at the EV spread. Max special attack, max speed, 4 special defense, and after you get boosted by choice specs, whoa! Holy shit! This is going to be a very solid special attack stat of like beyond 520, okay? This is going to be a hard-hitting Pokemon. But ladies and gentlemen, we haven't even scratched the surface yet when it comes to the versatility. Coming up next, let's take a look at this shit, okay? So this set actually was passed to me by my boy Charles. Big shout out to you, by the way, baby. So we take a look at this set right here. Now, he has explained this set to me. He said that with the spread and everything that's going on here, it's actually meant to set up on Pokemon with a base speed stat of 85 and below, okay? Pokemon that do not have any investment with that speed benchmark, this Pokemon is going to be able to set up and potentially 6-0 them, okay? So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we get to the item is going to be Leftovers, so that way you recover 1/16 of your health at the end of each turn, and the Prism Armor is obviously going to be the ability. I'm not going to repeat myself when it comes to abilities after this, okay? Because you guys already know it's only got one ability to use. So anyways, its only attacking move is going to be Psychic. So basically, ladies and gentlemen, if your opponent has Dark-type Pokemon on the field, or, you know, sitting and chilling in the back, man, do not use this set. Do not use Necrozma just yet. Do what you can to eliminate those Dark-type Pokemon first, okay? So anyway, Psychic, as I explained in the previous set, has a 10% chance to lower your special defense by 1 stage, and it is a base 90 solid fucking Psychic special move. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we get to the next move being Calm Mind. It boosts your special attack and your special defense by 1 stage, increasing your bulk and increasing your power drive. Holy shit, this is getting crazy. And then we get to the next move being Moonlight, okay? It is a move that will heal you depending on the weather. If there's no weather on the field, then you heal 50% of your health. If there is weather on the field, such as sandstorm and hail and rain, it only heals it up by, I believe, 25 or 33%. Like, I can't remember the range. Basically, it heals less than 50%, but in sunlight, it heals more than 50%, okay? So coming up next, we have Substitute, okay? Substitute is, in fact, going to be your last move of choice because this allows for you to set up a very sturdy barrier against other slow Pokemon that try to wear you down with statuses or try to leech seed you or try to trick you with their items or something like that. Well, Substitute is going to deny all that, okay? So then we get to the EV spread, okay? We're going to max out the health, put 200 solid whopping EVs into the defense stat, and then 56 into the speed. You notice that with that speed stat right there, you actually managed to outpace 4 EV speed base 85 speed Pokemon. So that means Pokemon like Tapu Fini, any other Pokemon that fails to meet the 85 speed benchmark or fail to outspeed you, you're going to be able to outspeed no problem, okay? And obviously, we are going to go with a bold nature, so that way you can capitalize on having as much natural defense as possible while setting up your special defense and your special attack for that matter, so that you can be a sweeping tank up in this. Woo! Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, coming up next, let's take a look at the next set here. So this set right here is actually something that I came up with. It's a custom-made set, okay? So what we got going on here, we actually have ourselves a mixed attacking rock polish weakness policy set. Now, the very beautiful thing about Necrozma and Prism armor is that you actually get to have a better way of taking advantage of your weaknesses. And what weakness policy does, like this right here is what makes this I'm so fucking great in tandem with Necrozma, is if the holder is hit with their super effective move, the attack, special attack both get raised by 2 stages, man. And with the EV spread that I have going on right here, man, it is going to be fucking up a lot of shit, okay? So the first move that we got is going to be Rock Polish, which raises the speed by 2 stages, okay? So coming up next, we have ourselves Psychic. Should kind of go without saying at this point that you need to have Psychic for a stab move, okay? And then up next, we have ourselves Earthquake, okay? This set is more or less centered around OU Necrozma, okay? If you're going to be using this set, I would highly recommend you use an OU, because with the EV spread and the move set going on, this allows for you to be an effective lure slash late game sweeper. Like, this Pokemon has a bunch of roles in one. And this right here smacks the shit out of the likes of Heatran, out of the likes of Magnezone, and any other Pokemon that happens to have a crippling weakness to ground-type moves like Earthquake. And then lastly, speaking of crippling moves, speaking of crippling weaknesses, we have Hidden Power Fire. This is specifically to target the likes of Ferrothorn and Scizor slash Mega Scizor, okay? Pokemon that are 4 times weak to fire. And this is another way to make Necrozma a great lure, okay? So then we take a look at the EV spread right here. We got a Naive Nature going on, because what I have in mind, okay? We have 244 on the speed with a Naive Nature. That gives you 280 speed. And after 1 Rock Polish, that gives you a total of 560 speed. That means that there is no Pokemon in the OU tier that can outspeed you at that point, okay? Like, that is just ridiculously crazy. So, with 160 attack, this guarantees you to OHKO Heatran with rocks on the field, okay? Like, guaranteed 100% this OHKO's bulky support Heatran. And this also, with 104 special attack, allows for you to guarantee to 2-hit KO the likes of Ferrothorn and Mega Scizor. Now, keep in mind, this is without weakness policy, okay? Once you have that son of a bitch locked in and you got it loaded, okay, and weakness policy is activated, well, that you're easily going to be able to one-hit KO Ferrothorn and Scizor with Hidden Power Fire and easily OHKO the likes of Heatran and Magnezone. Like, seriously, bye, okay? And the 244 speed, it's like I said, there's a reason I have that specific number. So that way, ladies and gentlemen, that on top of you having 560 speed after 1 Rock Polish, this speed stat allows for you to always be able to outspeed Timid Heatran, okay? Like, you will be able to outspeed Timid Heatran, and you'll be able to get off some really solid damage, okay? Now, coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at the next set that we got going on. We have ourselves a very unique Z Crystal Necrozma set, okay? Now, I'm choosing to run Adamant Nature here in this situation because I want to have as much attack power as possible, okay? Now, there are a few ways that you can run this, okay? You can go for a Jolly Nature, you can go max HP for maximum bulk and all that stuff. So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves Psychium Z, which is going to be your Z Crystal here. And it also allows for you to use a Psychic type Z move, which is going to be Psycho Cut. Now, I don't exactly know the exact base power of what the Z Crystal move is going to be for Psycho Cut, but it's going to be a lot of damage. I can guarantee you that, okay? So anyways, we go for Sword Stance, okay? We go for Sword Stance. It's going to raise your attack stat by 2 stages, which immediately makes Necrozma a very scary threat to deal with, okay? So up next, we have Psycho Cut, obviously for your Psychic-type stab, and with the combination of Psychium Z, you ended up getting access to Shattered Psyche, which is going to shatter the dreams and the psyche of your opponents. And coming up next, we have ourselves Earthquake, so that way you're able to damage the likes of rock types, of steel types, fire types, electric types. Like, this move is almost irreplaceable, okay? Now, coming up next, we have Brick Break, okay? Now, this right here is targeted towards Dark-type Pokemon, like Bisharp, like Tyranitar, Pokemon that try to eat you for breakfast, okay? Well, Brick Break, after a Sword Dance, sucker, is going to smash you up to pieces, okay? Now, there are a couple of other moves that you can use. If we go ahead and scroll down here, let's see what we can use. So you can use something like a Rock Blast. You can use something like Rock Slide, Shadow Claw. Let's see what else got going on here. Do we have ourselves access? Yes, we do. We got access to Stone Edge up in this. You can also use something like X-Scissor to take on other Psychic-type Pokemon, but my preference is Brick Break, so that way you have a way to defend yourself against one of your crippling weaknesses, that being to Dark-type Pokemon. Now, we get to the EV spread right here. Like I said, I'm choosing Inanimate Nature because I want to have as much power as possible, because once you have Sword Stance in effect, that 344 attack is doubled to 688, which is very scary, especially with a Psychium Z Psycho Cut in effect, okay? Like, that is going to be crazy good. Now, if you want, you can go for a Jolly Nature, so that way you can go and have a little bit more natural speed. There's a couple ways that you can run this set. You can also run Rock Polish Adamant if you want, or Rock Polish Jolly, or with this set right here, Sword Stance Adamant or Sword Stance Jolly. It's really up to you, okay? So coming up next, this set right here is a set that you can use for Support Necrozma, okay? Now, Support Necrozma in this situation allows for you to set up screens for your team, okay? So we got Light Clay going on here. What Light Clay is going to do is it boosts the duration of the likes of Aurora Veil, Light Screen, and Reflect from 5 turns to 8, man. And that right there is what is going to make this Pokemon just even that much more difficult to take down. So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, Reflect and Light Screen should kind of go without saying with combination of Light Clay. Reflect halves the damage of physical moves for 5 to 8 turns, and the same with Light Screen, but with special moves. And then we have ourselves Moonlight, which allows for you to keep yourself healthy through the duration of the battle as best and as long as you can. So coming up next, we have ourselves our only attacking move, going to be Psychic, and still, even without any special attack investment, you have 290 special attack, man, which is pretty damn respectable. Now, if you really want to go all out and have, like, mono support and no attacking moves, you can go for something like Stealth Rocks. If we go ahead and put that in right there, you can go for something like Stealth Rocks, or hey, even better, or I shouldn't say even better, but even something different, you can go for something like Thunder Wave if you want, so that way you can cripple any setup sweepers. You can go for Toxic to cripple any bulky Pokemon that try to give your team a hard time. So, with coming up next, we have ourselves the moveset here going on. It is going to be a Bold Nature with max HP, max defense. Like, it's pretty much as straightforward as possible. You're going to want to have as much defense as possible, so that way, ladies and gentlemen, you can use this Pokemon as a physical wall. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, coming up next, we have ourselves a set that I kind of just built on the spot, okay? We have ourselves a Rocky Helmet Necrozma set. Physically defensive, everything, and this right here punishes U-turn or any physical contact moves that are used from the Pokemon, okay? Like, if you make contact with this thing, like, you're going to be hurting big time. Because what Rocky Helmet does, okay, is if the holder is hit by a contact move, the attacker loses 1/6 of its max HP. And that's pretty nasty, okay? That is really fucking nasty. So anyways, we get to the first move. It is going to be Stealth Rocks, so that way you can set up entry hazards and damage them depending on their strengths and weaknesses, whether they resist rock type moves or whether they're really weak to rock type moves, such as the likes of, I don't know, Talonflame, Volcarona. How about Mega Charizard Y, man? Those Pokemon lose half their health upon switching in, which is big time trouble for those Pokemon. So coming up next, we have ourselves Moonlight. Should kind of go without saying, for a set like this, you need to have some way to keep yourself healthy, to keep yourself alive through the duration of the battle. So coming up next, we have ourselves Psychic. Also, should kind of go without saying, is going to be your only attacking move. And to be able to fire off a really solid Psychic with little special attack investment, 291. Okay, we got 4 special attack EVs. You're still going to be hitting relatively hard, okay? And then lastly, we have a support move of choice. My choice is Toxic, so that way you'll be able to wear down any Pokemon that tries to set up on you, that tries to support their team. And Toxic, in combination with Rocky Helmet, if they use contact moves with you, woo! Man, oh man, they're going to be losing health quicker than you could imagine, man. So anyways, with that being said, the EV spread, if I haven't already said it, is going to be max HP, max defense with a bold nature. So that way you have as much physical defense as possible. So coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, we have sort of like an offensive Stealth Rock set with Necrozma, okay? So this right here, we're going to be using a Life Orb. Now, you can opt out to use another item if you want, since Life Orb does wear you out a little bit at the end of each turn, because for every single time you use an attack, while it does increase the power of the attack by 30%, you do lose 1/10 of your health. So perhaps Life Orb may not be advised if you want to keep your Necrozma around. But, ladies and gentlemen, if you want this Pokemon to be a hard-hitting monster, then Life Orb pairs together with it like peanut butter and bananas. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, we go for the first move, going to be Stealth Rocks, okay? Stealth Rocks is definitely a really solid move to have on Necrozma. Not to mention, it kind of tricks your opponent into thinking, wait a second, man. Is this going to be a support Necrozma? Oh, well, wait a sec. I can go ahead and set up on that shit. I can go ahead and, you know, taunt or do whatever I want with it. But, ladies and gentlemen, this right here is where the fanciness of the set comes in, okay? Check me out on this. So next up, we have Psychic, okay? Once again, should go without saying, it is going to be your Psychic Stab. We also have ourselves Hidden Power Fire, which is a great way to deal with Steel-type Pokemon, especially the likes of Ferrothorn, Scizor, Mega Scizor, just to name a few. And then we also have Earthquake as a way to lure out the likes of Heatran, Magnezone, and any other Pokemon that have a crippling weakness to Ground-type moves. So this Pokemon is meant to be an offensive Stealth Rocker / lure, okay? 2 rolls in 1. Amazing, okay? So then we take a look at the EV spread. I wanted to give this Pokemon at near max speed, but not quite, because, see, even with this, okay, even with this, like, even if we take away one of these, okay, 1 speed EV, okay, and we put that into something like, say, its attack, just to boost it up just that much further, okay, like, with 279 speed, you will always outspeed Timid max speed Heatran by 1 point, always, okay? So with the EV spread that we got going on, we got 16 in the attack, 252 in the special attack, and 240 into the speed. Now, if you want, ladies and gentlemen, you can actually taper these EVs up a little bit, depending on which Pokemon that you want to have more damage on, or, you know, like if you want just to have more damage in general for any spectrum, whether it be the physical spectrum or the special spectrum, okay? You can go for something like this. You can mix up the EVs a little bit. We'll go ahead and cooperate here. Something like this to give yourself a little bit more of an attack buff, so that way you can take advantage of Earthquake having more power. But you can also, ladies and gentlemen, opt out to go no attack and go for something like this, and then maybe max out, or not max out, but give your defense a little more beef, something like that, so that way, with max special attack, you will be able to have as much power as possible with the likes of Psychic and Hidden Power Fire. And, of course, we are going to go with a Naive Nature because we do not want to have any of our offensive stats hindered in this situation. So, woo! Holy shit, we're nearing the end of this, man. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. So coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves a speedy version of a defensive set, okay? Now, this set right here, okay, this is It may look very gimmicky at first, but my god, this gimmick is going to whoop your ass if you are not prepared, okay? So we take a look at what we got going on here. So this is going to be a stored power, calm mind, iron defense, and rest set, okay? So leftovers is obviously going to be the item of choice here in this situation. So that way you can have a little bit of extra health recovery at the end of each turn. Now stored power, okay? It's a base 20 move, but get this, ladies and gentlemen. Every single time you accrue a stat boost, that is 20 more base power added on to stored power, okay? And with something like Calm Mind, which boosts 2 stats at once, boosts the special attack and the special defense by 1 stage, if you were to set up Calm Mind twice, okay? Calm Mind twice, stored power suddenly becomes 20 to 100, okay? And iron defense, holy shit. This move right here is going to bolster your defense stat even further, and also bolster the power of stored power, because this boosts your defense stat by 2 stages. Now, of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to get really tricky up in this, you can use something like Rock Polish here, which actually boosts, let's see here, it boosts your speed stat by 2 stages, so that way you can be a speedy stored power sweeper with still a defensive role kind of thing. And then rest, okay? Rest is going to be your last move of choice. I'm going to highlight that real quick. Now, rest allows for you to fully recover your HP and statuses, but you are asleep for 2 turns. But you see, ladies and gentlemen, is that even though you're going to be asleep for 2 turns, this Pokemon, depending on which side of the spectrum you set up on, whether it be the special side or the physical side, this Pokemon ain't going to be going down anytime soon. It ain't going to be going down in statuses because it's going to be asleep. And if you try to set up on it, well, the thing of it is, man, is that it will likely have a couple of Calm Mind boosts under its belt, so that way its special defense gets buffed all to hell. Iron defense, all you do is use Iron defense 3 times, and it's got max physical defense. You know, see ya bye, physical attackers, like, you ain't got no chance in hell for sweeping and stuff. And then when it wakes up, it can proceed to Calm Mind, Seek, and destroy your ass out. Now, of course, ladies and gentlemen, there is one single flaw to this set, and that is the fact that you get completely walled out by Dark-type Pokemon. And see, this right here, okay, ladies and gentlemen, like, this right here is where I have a little bit to be desired for Necrozma, is that it doesn't have any special fighting type moves. It doesn't get access to Focus Blast. It doesn't get access to Hidden Power Fighting, from what I'm told, given the fact that I think you need to have, like, a certain IV spread, and I think that's impossible for Necrozma, given the fact that every single time you encounter it, you end up getting a guaranteed of 3 maximum IVs. So that kind of renders that possibility impossible. So that is unfortunate, but you know, want to know something, is that no Pokemon is ever going to be perfect, okay? So we go now to the EV spread. We're going to be going with an all-out Timid Nature. We're going to have 240 speed EV, so that way, once again, you will always be able to outspeed max speed Timid Heatran. And with all that being said, we're going to be maxing out the health and putting the rest into defense, so that way you have a little bit more defensive bulk to work with. And once again, we will be going with a Timid Nature, if I haven't already said that. Woo! Holy shit, this was a long fucking video! Oh my lord! Oh! This was awesome, and I certainly hope you guys agreed. So with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys enjoyed the video, then make sure you smash the hell out of the like button. It's like I said at the beginning of the program, let's aim for 25 likes, and if you want more content like this, then make sure you subscribe, support, and stay positive. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, turn on notifications, because YouTube is buggy these days, man, and we need to unleash the pesticides being, so that way we can destroy the YouTube bugs that keep plaguing hundreds upon thousands of YouTubers every day. So with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys very much for watching this video. Much love to you cool cats, and don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, if you choose to subscribe, which I highly recommend you do, then don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, I need to remind y'all that we are the craziest community around. We are a community that's tightly packed and tightly as one. We shine much brighter than the sun and the moon combined. So thank you very much for watching. Much love to you cool cats, and I will see you next upload.